this string value will have the first string value and multiplication by some integer. So I'm going to print with the same string multiple times, right? If I give the space over here, I'm going to run this code. Can you see within the space it is going to print 4 times on the screen? So which means when you are dealing with the string data type and having a string operator, which means you are multiplying, means you are writing 4 times of that string, right? So can everyone hear me okay? We are having multiplication operator along with the integer. Suppose I am having 10 over here, so it will print 10 times of the string, right? Similarly, we can have the print any string value, like suppose I'm going to print any string operator, and then I'm going to write some name, right? SAXENA, right? Going to print, so it will print true, because this a is existing inside this entire string value. Each each term is called a character, but entire set of character is called a string. Similarly, if you'll replace this print a called C, if I replace a with caps lock of a, so it will give false, because capital A is not existing inside the given string. So this is how we can print the entire value, right? Now, if we are going to print and some arbitrary value, like suppose I am going to print this AR is equal to AR, right? So I'm going to compare these two strings. It will print yes, true, right? But if you have some arithmetic operator, right? So arithmetic operator means comparatively you are going to compare these two values. Suppose the first value and the second value, right? So if I, instead of equal to, I'm applying greater than sign in between these two strings. So when I hit run, so it will give false because it's not giving any value, right? If I write less than, so it will give true, right? Because the value, the ASCII value for the same string is higher than for this one. We will come back to the ASCII value, how strings are going to define this one, right? You can go for the variables part, like suppose if we have the variable container kind of, and this is my tech long session. So for this string, if I'm going to create new line and try to print str, so you will find the entire string on the screen. You can go for the entire string, right? Similarly, if you want to find the size of this length, right? You cannot count the each character. This space is also kind of character, and we will be discussing how these characters are being replaced with some others, right? So you can go for the string value or the length of this string using len function. You can write down these inbuilt function of the string, and with these string functions we can go for the we can find the length of any string, right? You can see the total length inside this str variable is 27. If you'll count manually, like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27. So 27 characters are there, which means the length of str is 27. So what's the objective to find this str value or str length for this operation? So we can go operationally, we can go further in upcoming sessions. Like suppose courtesy, I can apply for I in range. Within the range, I can type the length of str, because I don't know the length of the string and I'm not interested to count it manually. So I'll give the by default function, that is the length of the string, put colon and hit enter, try to print the entire I. right? So this I is encapsulating the each character over here. So I'm going to print run, or instead of I can go for the str I, right? So you can see all characters are going to print on the screen, right? If you want to print in a single line, so you just keep remember, you can add end is equal to quotes, and do not give any space inside it. I'll show how what's the difference between giving space and not giving the space. If you will give space after this end, so it will print like this one with all the characters with one space. If you won't give any space inside and is equal to quotes, so it will give the original string on the screen. This is my text lang session, right? So as you can see on this side, you can have and using in order to print the same article, same number, right? If I'll put more spaces along with the dollar sign, if it will print like T, then space, then dollar H, two spaces, dollar I, two spaces, and dollar. So this is a significant role of AND, and you can print in a conventional method, that is the AND is equal to nothing, right? So this is how you can go for the entire value. Now the another part we have print s dot split, right? Or we have str as a as a string. I can go for the split function. So this is my this one, my techlang session. Each word is separated in a single element and stored in a list. You can see these square brackets were not initialized or encapsulated earlier. Now they are putting around these words. This is my Teklang session is separate, are the separate words, set of words, right? So you can see you can use this term, like if I'm going to courtesy copy this one, or say like D is equal to this one, and try to print this type of D. So you will find the class as a list, right? So this D is stored as a list inside the memory, hardware memory, and you can have the type of D as a list, right? Now the basic advantage of this list is you can type the for loop also. Look, like for I in D, inside the list, hit enter, print I, you will find you are printing all the words simultaneously, right? So the difference between this for loop and the previous for loop is, if you like, if I'm going to remove this one and going to hit run, you can see it's a printing character wise. So it's your project, your case study. You do you want to print character on the screen, each character separately, or do you want to print the words separately on the screen? So if you say, sir, I want to print this each word on the new line, so you will have to split entire data set, entire string set, and then type D, and then for I in D, you can see here I had given the range in, because I'm having length of string and then range, but here I had given the D, right? Because for in order to fetch the element of list, you will have to type only I in D, right? So what is the object? Like suppose I am like list, and let's say 5 comma 7 comma a comma 9 comma, let's say Sachin, and then another value, let's say 1.25, then another string, let's say k, and just write for loop for I in list 1 and hit enter. Try to print I, because I denotes each character here, each element here. So set of words, set of elements, we can store different data type elements we can store in the list, and in order to access each element from the list only, you are required to write simple skeleton of for loop, which is I in list 1. So I want to emphasize the importance of this point. Like you don't need to insert range every time, right? So this is not required that you need to range. In case of list, you can write directly for I in list 1 and print I. That's it. And again, suppose you want to print in a single line, you just hit enter and is equal to this one and hit run, or you can give the space as well, and you can see 5, 7, 9, Sachin 1.25 and character K printed on the screen, right? So this is the objective of this this operations and all, right? If you are having any doubt, you can go ahead, please. Okay. So now in the next part of this code, string data type, you will find some other functions. Like suppose I am going to type str dot is ALNUM, right? You can see it's a printing false, right? It returns true. This function returns true if the string contains only letters, right, and digits. It returns false if the string contains any special character and all, right, like space and all everything, right? Suppose I am going to type str2 is equal to Sachin and run this code and going to print this one. Can you see this? AL stands for alphanumerical, like alpha. If you have alpha values, alpha numbers only, so it will print Sachin as a true value, right? If you add some another value, suppose I am writing one another value, let's say this is containing some special character. I'm going to run this code again and try to implement the same operator with the str3. So with the str3, I'm going to type run. You can see it's a printing false, which means it's containing some special character like underscore, hashtag, right? Unders, etc., percentage, dollar, at the rate, colon, right, comma, everything except the alphanumerical values, right, space. So it will show the true and false according these the according value, right? Now I'm going to print some str is equal str4 is equal to, let's say, 45 and enclose in a quotes and try to print str4 dot is alpha. Can you see this is printing false, right? So when you will have alpha numerical value, like suppose instead of 4.52, if I am having dollar this one, so it will print false because we don't have any alpha value. So it returns true if the string contains only letters, otherwise return false. Suppose I am having this Sachin, so it will print true in this case, right? This is checking the alphanumerical value. Now the next function we have, suppose instead of this character value, I'm having some numerical value as all. So instead of is, I'm going to type is digit, and can you see it's a printing is digit. So it's a printing the value which is saying like returns true if the string contains only numbers, otherwise it returns false, right? Suppose let me change this one. Okay, it's having this codes. Oh, it's not printing this digit. Okay, oh sorry, my mistake, it should be 5. So now you can see it's having 4587, only the character inside the string, so it's printing true. So this is the another function to check the string is containing only digit or not, right? In either case, if you can have the operators in a small letters, take long session, right? So I'm going to check this text lang session in the lower case or not. So again, I'm going to check lower or not. So you can see it's having this is lower. It's a question mark. So you can see the objective is to convert into the lower, right? Suppose I want to convert uh, into the uppercase, right? So suppose I want to print all the values in the upper. So what I'll do, I'll write the same string and apply this upper value. You can see each character is converted into the uppercase. So let's explore this in a bit more detail. That previously we had all the characters in a small caps storing in the str6. We are checking this condition is true or not. If I'll change this simple element into the caps lock, it will print false. You can see because only single character is violating the condition, which is the upper link, right? Now I'm having t is lower, so it is true now. Now suppose I want to convert you, if you would say sir you can convert the entire character into the uppercase, yes I can do. So I'm going to copy this part and storing in some other value. Let's say str7 is equal to quotes and storing this uppercase, and try to print into the lowercase, converting into the lowercase. So what I'll do, I'll write str7 dot lower and hit run. You can see directly or without any delay, it's going to print entire value, right? Right? Suppose I'm having next operator, next string aspect. Suppose this is the tech lang session is very good, right? So formatting is quite disturbed. So let's discuss some potential drawback of this approach. We have some disturb element over here. Some keywords are in the caps lock, some are in the lower cases. So I want to keep in the upper cases every time, right? So I want in proper method, right? So this is the zigzag method, right? So I want to convert into the proper title case. So I'll write title, right? Hit enter. You can see e every first character is now capitalized using the title function. So this is the visual representation of what we are discussing, and we can use these functions directly anywhere inside this case, right? Right. So these are the valuable functions you can use anywhere, any value or any functions, any or, right? Suppose I'm going to copy this one and print this one inside this str8 instead of title function. If I am going to use capitage, right? So this is the capitalize, right? Okay, so capitalize or text. Let me wrap it here. Okay, is not defined. C A oh P I str8 dot, and let me remove from this side. Can you see this is going to capitalize first letter and giving the paragraph format, right? So this is the appropriate value and appropriate something, right? Once again you can see the next str value. Suppose I am having next str, and inside this str9 I am having the old string value, and here are some real life example of how others characters are going to replace. Suppose I want to replace this e with let's say g, right? So what I'll do, I'll write replace function, and within the replace function I'll write e with the g. Let me run this code. Can you see this tech lang small e is replaced wherever it is having a small e, let's say after in the second letter of very, if you can see the proper word inside the proper e inside the proper is now converted to G. So this is how you can replace any word, right? This is the simple case. If you want to convert like any let me have a, right? Or I want to replace a with dollar symbol. Now you can see wherever I am having dollar symbol, it's just replace a, right? Or you can do one thing. If you want to change this str is equal to str9 dot lower, and then you can replace this a with the this one. Can you see? First line is having string characters. Second line is converting all the characters into the lower format. And then the third line is replacing the lower a into the dollar symbol. You can see techlang is converted to dollar, want is converted to dollar, right? Can I replace s to dollar symbol? Yes, in a fraction of second, we can convert small s into the dollar symbol as per your choice. So this is the crucial point that I would like to emphasize, that you can replace any value to the any aspect integer world, right? The next thing we are going to cover is the set itself. Let me check it out. We don't have any doubt. No doubt. Okay. So we are going to include one more thing. The next section we are going to discuss over here, that is the set itself, right? Okay. So I'm going to define this set now, right? So what is the definition, basic definition of this set? Let me write this one heading, and this asterisk v, right? So a set is an unordered collection data type that is iterable, mutable, and has no duplicate elements, right? Python set class represents the mathematical notation of a set. The major advantage of using a set as opposed to a list, right? It is just reciprocal of the list, is that it is a highly optimized method for checking whether a specific element is contained in the particular data type or not, right? So use a set if you need uniqueness for the element, right? Suppose I am having numbers is equal to this one 10 comma 20 comma 5 comma minus 3, right? And try to print type of this numbers. You can see this is a set, right? But the same thing, if you replace with the key values or the respective key numbers, you will find this is a dictionary itself. So just keep in mind there is a bit difference between set and dictionary, that you will have keys inside the dictionary. So our first point of discussion is, you must have basic crystal clear difference between the set and dictionary, right? So here we are discussing set only. We will discuss dictionary in upcoming session. Suppose I am having students is equal to curly braces. Let's say, let me write it down. Swami is the first student. Second student name is, let's say, Vamsi. Third student name is, let's say, Avinash, and so on, right? Similarly, if we have fruits name, let's say apple, the second fruit name is, and the third fruit name is orange, right? Similarly, you can create your custom set also. This is the 10, 20, and then set of element or set of different values. So I'm going to run this code, right? You can print every value over here. If I copy all these variable and try to print this number, let me remove the values first. This one, delete, comma, delete, comma, and then let me write some statement over here. Let's say with slash n set of all, and then comma. Let me run this one. You can see the first elements are printed on the screen. What will happen when we try to add duplicates element in the list, right? We cannot have the duplicate elements, right? So I'm going to copy this element the same, and let me add student name twice, the same student twice, right? Let me comment these two and try to print, right? So you can see only unique values are printed on the string, right? So this is the uniqueness of the string, that if you have multiple copy of the elements, it will have unique options on the screen, right? So here is the impact of our realistic example, impact of our certain data set value, that you will have unique value inside the list. So what about the indexing, right? So how we can go for the indexing in the certain value? Suppose I'm going to print the student name. Let's say I'm going to print Vamsi, Vamsi in could be students, right? So it's a printing true, right? So this is how you can see the Vamsi is present inside the given set. So this is the true, this is showing the true, right? If you say some different value, so if you hit run, you can see the names are disturbed now. Respective character values are disturbed. So here are some common misconceptions about this topic, that you will have the arbitrary text box or in case sensitive values. No, you will have to give proper value inside the list and hit render, then only you will get the true value on the screen, right? Now you can apply if conditions also. If apple, let me see, yes, it's caps lock, apple in fruits, if it exists, right? So it will print yes, otherwise it will, in the else condition, it will print else, it will print no on the screen. So this is how you can print the proper condition for the string value. So check type of the variables, check the presence of the relevant content inside the set is the different value. So here is a breakdown of the entire element location, whether it is present inside the set or not. If it is there, it will print the it will say the condition is true. If it is not print, then it will say let me disturb this element here. So I am printing this time, so it's showing this condition is false now. So here I am having no on the screen, so I'm going to print the true condition every time. So this is my objective. Now check type of the set variable with type values, right? So I'm going to hit add new heading and go to the OK. Oh, so this is the oh, code, right? Let me make it as a heading and OK, and paste it here. Check type of the set variable. How to check the type of variable? So I'm going to write type with the numbers, right? You can see this is the type of set, right? You can wrap up this single function within the print also. So print type, and with the type also you will find student's name. So you will have, this is a class of set. So you can find the different values, right? We can check the methods and attribute variables available for the set variables, right? how to do this? I'm going to print dir, and within the this one I'm going to type d numbers and hit run, right? So you can see different directories are available for these numbers, right? You can see the different values are given on the set of numbers, right? I'm going to copy this command again, and this time I'm going to check the length of this set, right? What is the length of this? How many numbers present in the numbers set, right? So four numbers are present in the numbers. Let me cross it again. So numbers having 1 2 3 4, that's correct. Let me check it for my set. So for my set I'll write len function. Similarly, like list, you will find set also, because we have four element inside the my set element, right? So how to suppose you want to add new numbers inside the my list. So what I do, so I'll write my underscore set dot add. Within the my set I'll write tech long, let's say. So I'm going to run this code, and this time I'm going to print my set. So here you can see techlong is just added inside the list, right? You can see the correct way to do it is to via set function. It's a built-in function. Add is a built-in function, and we are going to add in this function, right? So we are having some additional values, right? Suppose we can going to update any values, right? Multiple values in the same set. Suppose I am having my underscore set. So this time I'm having update function. Let me update this set. Within the update function I'm going to apply some list value, right? So within the list I'm going to give the duplicate values, right? Courtesy or could be, and try to add tech long this time, and let me add Delhi, right? So okay, instead of my set, can we add in the students? So I'm going to add in update inside the student list. Could we see, right? If you write students, you will find unique numbers are printed on the screen. The Swami, Vamsi, right? Teklang and Delhi. 1, 2, 3, 4, and Avinash is the previous one we had in the previous one, right? Suppose you want to you want to remove any number, any given number from the list, so you can go for the remove function. In the same way we have remove function students dot remove, and then we have this square bracket, and give, let's say I'm going to remove this Swami name over here. So hit run, and this one. Now print the student name again, student state again. So now the remaining elements are showing here. So duplicate elements are not showing inside this thing. Now I'm going to update this student list again, right? So along with this updation, new Mumbai. Let's say I'm updating new Mumbai. Along with this, I'm going to update this Bangalore, right? So you can see this Swami, Vamsi, Teklang, Delhi should appear two times duplicate value, but it's showing only single or unique value. So it will throw an error that you are going to remove, and you are going to show any error or any value, right? So here we have students showing unique value on the screen, right? But what will happen if you want to remove uh, any some non-existing value from the list? Suppose I'm going to remove, let's say, Chennai, right? So it will show an error. Chennai is not available inside the list. So this is the unexpected value we are going to throw on the screen. So other way to do the same step as above is using discard with method, which is really simple, right? You can go for the, instead of remove, you can go over the discard. Let's say I want to discard this Bangalore this time, right? So hit enter and try to print student again. Content of the student will be changed now. You can see Avinash Bangalore is kept this time. New Mumbai, Swami, Teklang, Vamsi is printed, but Bangalore is not printed, right? So you can see the values are not printed, which is just removed, right? So suppose you want to iterate, right? Iterate over these simple values. I'm going to make it headings, and inside the heading I'm going to comment it, hit run. So iterate over all items in set and access individual items, right? So how to do it? So I'll apply for in students, hit colon, and try to print I. You can see all the elements are printed on the screen. And in the using conventional method, if you want to print in a same line, you'll add and comma and then add is equal to quotes and hit run. You can see without a space, it's going to print on the screen. So let me give you some background on this issue, that your objective is to print in a single line with the space, then you will give space over here. So I'm going to run this code with the space. If you want to give the dollar symbol in between each word, so you will give space, dollar, and then space, and run this code. You will find some dollar symbol in between these keywords, right? So here are some key values, right? Any doubt as of now?